So I want to welcome everyone to Women's History Month. My name is Jackie Nagel, and I am the Strategic Business Coach at Synovation, and I'm also the Community Strategist at Eureka. So March is the time of the year when we put things on pause and take a moment to recognize women who are making major contributions in their industry. And today I'm so excited because we have one of those women with us. I like to refer to her as the eighth wonder of the world, because she is doing some amazing things. So I'd like to introduce you to Diane Leonard of DH Leonard Consulting. So welcome, Diane.
Hi, Jackie. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So tell everybody what you are doing over at DH Leonard Consulting, because it is pretty remarkable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've got to give a lot of credit to the team. DH Leonard Consulting and Grant Writing Services exists to help nonprofits secure funding so that they can achieve their mission and create impact in their communities. Yes. And so our whole focus is on that impact for our clients. And so we're working to help them secure the funding. And that dollar, thankfully, with the hard work of the team, just keeps climbing. So we're up to $55.4 million secured for our clients to date.
Whoa, is that year to date or?
No, not year to date. I wish. Our clients wish.
Yeah, well, I would almost anticipate. So you make an interesting point about how you want your desire to make an impact for your clients, right? Mm-hmm. And, one of the things that I find really astonishing and remarkable about what you're doing is a while back, you made a seismic shift in your business. And it not only improved your processes, but it also had, it was very impactful for your clients and what you were able to achieve for them. So what did you do? Tell us about that.
Sure. So we began to implement Scrum in our business, which is a framework in the Agile practices. And we've been using Scrum now for 4 years. We use it within our team. We use it with our clients and their processes. And honestly, seismic shift is, I think, the best phrase that I could apply to it. I loved it when you just used that. That's perfect. You can join our writing team. That's perfect.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll just throw in a word every once in a while. So what was it that was the impetus or the inspiration behind bringing Scrum, which is traditionally used in software companies, right? So bringing it into grant writing was kind of you're a real pioneer, and it was a little bit of a maverick move, if you will. What was the inspiration behind that?
Sure. So I am a type 3 on the Enneagram, which means I'm an achiever.
Okay.
And so when I saw the title of the book, actually my family and I were taking a vacation, and we were about to be in a very long car ride. So my spouse and I were debating about an audiobook. And when Scrum, the art of doing twice the work in half the time, showed up in the Audible list, I was sold. I'm like, I want to understand that. And that really, the book was the launching point for me. And actually for my spouse and his work as well. We both saw how it could play in his engineering work, but I was like, yes, in my business work with our clients, I was ready. And so since then, I've gone ahead and become a certified Scrum Master and a certified Scrum Product Owner with Scrum Inc. And we've been using it, and slowly, right, each day is a new journey, each sprint we make an improvement. But it's been a game changer for the team, the business. It helped me with things like I used to struggle with delegation. Well, now the team self-organizes. So it's not just about me and how I feel, but really they're helping to run the show. And what we've found is that it's improving team happiness, which ultimately increases client happiness and client results, which for us means dollars, right? How many dollars are they being awarded? So that's really where, to me, that's the proof.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So do you, after using Scrum for 4 years, do you feel that it's something that any business could implement?
Absolutely. We've been talking about it quite a bit. We've got a special project that we've launched through DH Leonard Consulting that's Agile in nonprofits, because I believe that it's not just about a consulting business using it or an engineering firm using it, right? A single consultant could use it. Nonprofits and their boards can use it to increase their impact, whatever their work is. And so we're helping to spread the word about how we've used it, helping to coach others in terms of how they could use it, see what we've done, and then adapt to their own setting, because it has made such a difference that I want to help people love it, right? We joke, we love grants as a hashtag here on the team. We also now hashtag love Scrum.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what I love about that too, when you're talking about how you had difficulty delegating, because that's one of the biggest things that I hear from a lot of small business owners. Well, I'm not real comfortable with delegation, but the fact that Scrum is a self-organizing tool that you have in your business, I think is remarkable.
Yeah, and I mean, we've known each other now for years, you and I, and you've heard me talk about delegation as a struggle. And I think part of it as a small business owner, especially if your name is in the business name, right? We started and it was only DH Leonard Consulting. And when I expanded, so it was DH Leonard Consulting and Grant Writing Services, the idea was to help. It's not just about me, it's about the team, because really the team is the one creating this great work for clients. That doesn't mean it made it any less personal for me. It still is my name there. It's still my initials on our logo. And so that personal piece and engaging everyone, maybe it'll always be a slight struggle for me because it's my baby, what we're doing.
Well, it's really interesting because it reminds me of a conversation I was having last night with an entrepreneur, and we were talking about the fact that sometimes it's hard also for a lot of small businesses to bring in other people, whether it's subcontractors or whether it's staff, to do the work, because we are so attached to the way in which we work. And so what I'm hearing you say is that Scrum really has also been a tool that has helped you transfer your expertise, your level of excellence to the members of your staff, so that, and your subcontractors, so that you've got the confidence that your brand the integrity of your brand will be maintained.
I think so. And it plays out. Sometimes I read all the time, I read what the writers have put together for a proposal. That's brilliant. Wow, couldn't have done that on my own. Or the lead writer will write something and then the team hops in and does their mock review, and the product that comes out, you're like, you know what? It would have been great and it could have been funded probably if just one person wrote it. Now it is like the best fundable thing we could do because of those extra voices. And it plays out not just in the writing, it plays out in our education and our outreach when we're offering webinars or creating materials that people can download on the site. It's all part of that, where we've got a stronger, I think, it's a stronger group think. So it's everyone's knowledge and their competencies as grant professionals and really putting it in one place together.
And it sounds like it's a tool for you too, that not only has helped with the delegation and maintaining the integrity of the brand, but also has allowed you to literally, like the book says, get more done in half as much time, as well as elevating the quality of the product that you would bring to your clients, correct?
Yeah, and when I first speak about Scrum, folks will ask if it's an acronym or what is it? And no, it's not, right? But I also will share that our family, we have our own Scrum board. It's amazing how children adapt to it as well. Their minds are just so open to it. And so just the idea of it as a tool for facilitating what your goals are, keeping those right in front of you and adapting. I think we always have to keep in mind, if we're in a business framework, how we're adapting to our clients. Right. Keeping their priorities, their happiness right at the forefront of what we're doing, and not getting stuck with documentation or what we said what it was going to look like. And so I think having it as a tool and then using it in other elements of life too. Use it with the first Lego League team that we coach. Using it in the family, seeing it in those different scenarios really drives home what a great tool it is for different elements, but keeping the focus on what is the goal. I always drive back to the Simon Sinek book, Start with Why. Yes. And so if you've always got your why, whether it's the business team, the family team, the first Lego League team, and the why is what's driving your sprint and your goals and what you're doing as a team. That, to me, those two, I always loved that book. And then you put Scrum with it, and it's magic.
See, you are the eighth wonder of the world. I knew it. So let me ask you this question, Diane, because I think people would also be really interested in your thoughts and your expertise on expanding your team. There are hurdles and obstacles that come along with expansion. And I know you started your business as a solopreneur, right? And you've got several people. How many people do you have in your team now?
We're now up to 13 folks on the team.
Yowza. Right. Wow. So what were some of the hurdles that you faced, and what did you do to overcome them to get to this point?
Yeah. So one of the biggest hurdles was the letting go, the delegation, right? It can't just, as an achiever, and this is a good self-awareness thing, I've really had to look inside and say, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Right? Do a little SWOT analysis on myself, not just the business plan idea I had, because I joke that I can be my own worst enemy. I can be the bottleneck. And so as I thought about, do I want to continue to do this on my own, or do I want to build more of a team? I went for the team strategy at the time because while it sounds counterintuitive, I have young children and wanted to be able to balance the different goals I have for my life. And actually having a network of a team made it easier to balance the different demands and my ideas, my goals for the business with what we had for goals for the family.
Wow.
Versus just trying to always get it all done myself and probably stay up too late, not sleep enough. For me, it helped bring balance back, or bring the balance that I wanted. Maybe I was never there. Maybe I was never going back. I was always striving for it, but constant daily strive, I should say, never always there, but.
Yes. And so what advice would you give someone who is looking to expand their team? Because you're right, it is a way to scale, especially in a service-based business, right? Mm-hmm. And to give us the freedom and the flexibility that we really want, the reason why we actually started our business in the first place. Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give to someone who's sitting there thinking, I really want to expand, I really want to bring in other people, but it just frightens me?
Yeah. So this is a pretty common conversation within the consultant special interest group for the Grant Professionals Association, because, and what my colleagues and I will say, is that there's no right model for everyone. And people are like, what's the right model? What should I do? I'm like, I can't tell you that, right? Because it's different for everyone and what your why was and why you started, what you're trying to do. But I think the biggest thing after you decide your why and why you might want to expand is, quite frankly, to get in the weeds legally and understand what state you're operating in, because that really could make a difference for how you might consider subcontractors versus employees.
Right.
And so before you get too far in your vision, think about where you're doing your work, what sort of professionals you work with, and if that might add any thoughts to your framework of how you might develop. But that's the secondary piece. That's getting in the weeds after you've decided what makes the most sense for me, not what makes the most sense in the field, or how can I be like that person or that business. That might not be right for you. And it took me a while to realize that as well, that it doesn't have to be a one-size-fits-all model to be what your definition of success is.
So how did you, I'm sure when you took those steps, right, to build the business that you wanted, not the business that you thought you should have, did you ever experience any fear of stepping out and building a model that was custom to your situation?
Oh, yeah. So another consultant in the field, Pamela Grow, is a great colleague and love to collaborate with her, but we've had some pretty frank conversations, and actually with other colleagues too, about imposter syndrome. Oh. And the idea that one is what we have, what I have to say, something of value is the model, something of value. So I think that the fear of doing something different was there, but for me it was tied to a little bit of that. What are people going to say? Do they think that I have something of value to offer?
Right. Yeah. I think I love the term imposter syndrome, because I think that really speaks volumes about the way that we feel and about how we might be perceived in the industry. And that does, I find that same thing, that it does really hold a lot of people back from having the kind of business that they really want to have. So, so just, we were talking about Scrum, we're talking about building the team and overcoming some of the hurdles for that. I love the notion of doing a SWOT analysis on yourself. That is brilliant. I love that. And so what, for any woman who is in business for herself, or she's considering business, what advice, particularly since you have a family, you have children, right? Young children that are very busy little people. And what advice would you give her?
Oh, well, first I'd say you can do it. I just read the other day that women are starting businesses at a rate higher than men. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I think that women bring a special perspective to whatever their field is, whether it's marketing and web design, grant writing, something in their community, running a bookstore. I think everyone, gender aside, has something unique to bring as a perspective. And so to see that whatever your voice is, your goal, your desire is going to bring something unique to your service community. And to be confident in that, I think that would be the biggest piece of advice I would give. To be confident in what your vision is, and don't take no as no. Take no as maybe I need to think about it a different way. Maybe I need to revisit. Maybe I need to try a different avenue. But don't let one person telling you no, or you can't, or you shouldn't stop you. Just maybe reframe your idea or try it a slightly different way.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Very good advice. So, Diane, I want to be respectful of your time. Thank you so much for who you are, who you've been in my life. And I joke about the eighth wonder of the world, but no, I really truly believe it, that if we looked up in Wikipedia, your picture should be there. And, but I appreciate too, the way in which you work, what you've been able to accomplish, not only in your own business, but also for the nonprofits. They have, they're very mission driven. I know I've served on several nonprofit boards, and being able to have the funds determines whether or not they can fulfill their mission. And by fulfilling their mission, the countless number of people that they're able to serve is magnified. And so I look at you as being like the stone that gets thrown into the water and begins to ripple out, and all the impact, all the effects that you create for lots and lots of other people around the globe. So I thank you for that.
Well, thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here, and we will talk again soon.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks.